Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Daily Shlog. It is Friday. It means it's the end of the week, and that's awesome. This weekend is Father's Day, and I'm stoked because I get to go ride my dirt bike with my kids and relax a little bit, so that's going to be awesome. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff going on today. It's going to be another awesome day at the shop, but we're going to start with a test ride on the old Vmax. So let's get on with the Daily Shlog. All right, so we got the Vmax all done. Zach Sheets is fighting still with the CRF. Not really fighting, but here, let me show you something. So part of the deal is Mr. Dugan wanted us to grease all the chassis bearings while we were doing a top end, get this thing ready to rock and roll for the season. So as we were doing that, we took the linkage apart. And see that rust? It doesn't help that there's that dinger in there, but that rust, and then you can see, anyway, so unfortunately we had to order parts. We didn't have those here. I actually had the lower shock bearing, but I did not have the rest of the linkage bearings. So we got those coming, but Zach's finishing up putting a fan and an hour meter, some other stuff on it, so it'll be ready to go when that stuff shows up. But as promised, we are now going to take a ride on the old Vmax. I will try not to wheelie over backwards. I know that a lot of you guys are not going to get a chance to ride one of those, but if you ever do, make sure you take the opportunity. That is awesome. So, it is time to get back to work. Mr. Sheets is done with the motor and the shock, and we are waiting for linkage parts still, so that's cool. Ed, you're dangerously close to having a motorcycle that works again. Now, working on the old R1100 GS. These are actually pretty cool bikes. I'm not a giant fan of BMWs, not for any reason other than, I don't know. They're big and heavy. I did show Zach, let me show you guys something. If you don't know about these, they're normally, or very often called lane changers. Let's see if I can, see, I'll put this over here. Alright, so I'm just going to twist the throttle. I'm not going to push on it at all, but watch the bike. That it's always unnerving when you're sitting on a bike and you just rev the throttle a little bit and it twists. It's because the motor, so quick little learning moment for everybody here who doesn't know much about BMWs. The R motor BMWs all have opposing sensing boxer style. Now there's one cylinder piston, there's the other cylinder piston. So that means that the crankshaft is spinning like this while the bike is going like this. Most bikes, especially dirt bikes, the piston cylinder, piston's going up and down like this, so the crank is rotating in line with the direction that things moving. That's why it doesn't go side to side when you rev the throttle. but it's also the same reason when you're up in the air and you rev it between the wheel and the motor, it wants to twist or do that. So yeah, so that's a weird thing. This guy just bought this bike and he's having us go through it, make sure it's all good because he's getting ready to ride to Seattle on it next week. So yeah, I'm gonna check the oil, do a bunch of other stuff, check a few things. He's also got a slow leak in the rear tire, so we're gonna try to find out why that's happening and fix it. And yeah, so there we go. I'll check back in with you guys here in a bit, and if I find anything super cool to look at. All right, so we got the wheel off, trying to find the leak. No obvious like big nail or anything like that in the tire. So next thing I checked was the valve stem, the valve core in the valve stem. It was fine. So then I laid her down here on its side and took some soapy water, sprayed it around the bead, and you can see right there are some bubbles. There's some bubbles, but right here, this is a super telltale sign. You can see those bubbles bubbling out. So we got a bead leak. Probably from, if you take a look, the rim's kind of jacked up there. So probably took a shot. I think I can fix it. I'm gonna show you how I do that. It's not gonna be maybe the most perfect fix, because the perfect fix would probably be a new rim. But I think we can get him set it up so that he can, you know, ride the thing to Seattle and or Washington, wherever he's going, and be just fine. And then maybe hunt for a new rim, but I think it'll be all right. So yeah, gotta unmount this tire, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do with that. All right, so I found the problem. This is an interesting one. Either we got three options of what happened here. Let me show you what's going on. So I don't know if you can see, but there's big old dings right there. There's a ding right there. And, you know, there's like, look at that. That's a good one. All right on the bead. So one of three things happened. Either it got ridden with a flat or without the rim on it, like Andrew Short did in this year's Dakar, or someone went all Zach Sheets on it with tire irons trying to change it, or my bet is on a bear got a hold of this and chewed on it for a little while. But yeah, that's gnarly. So I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting some like maybe a kind of a dent or some gravel or something in there. That's okay though. We can still fix this without having to replace the rim, at least not yet. So first gonna start with a die grinder with a Scotch-Brite pad, and I'm gonna smooth all that out. I'll do that right now, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And then when we mount it, we're gonna use some grease as bead sealer, because when you buy bead sealer under that name, it's just grease in a different tub. See, I'm gonna start with a Scotch-Brite pad and try to smooth that out as much as possible, and then yeah, I'll show you what that looks like. Then we'll mount it up with some grease, and I bet it stops leaking. All right, so finished up with the die grinder. Let me show you what that looks like. Just a little Blue Point die grinder, nothing special. Scotch-Brite roll lock pad, red Scotch-Brite, whatever. And so let's take a look at some of, you can kind of see, got rid of most of that. Just kind of went around the edge, hit all the big dingers, and got those off. So now we're gonna take it back over, put it on the tire machine, and I'm gonna run grease around both beads all the way around before I mount it, and that will act as a sealer. Once we get that mounted and air in it, I'll put it back over here, spray water on it, soapy water on it again, and see if we get any leaks. But I think we should be good, and put that back together and keep going through it. So should be good. All right, guys. So we got her mounted up. Got grease on the bead, and as you can see the grease all the way around. You can even see probably where it tried to push some out as I seated the bead right there. That was one of the bad spots. But now there's no bubbles, no nothing coming out. So I think we're good. I checked the other side. Yeah, I think we're good. I think he shouldn't have any more problems. Probably don't really need another rim. You know, if you could find a really clean one, it wouldn't be a bad idea. There's Dave! He's hiding from the camera. I knew it. Yeah, gonna mount that thing back up and keep going. All right, guys, I got the beamer all done. Tires working great. Now I'm actually just finishing up a service on this YZ450. This guy's going racing. I think for his first time ever racing up in Monticello, Utah for the Weeby hair scramble round. Yeah, just kind of going through it, make sure it's all good. Put a new chain on it. The other one was no good. And I just wanted to show you something. The reason you want to just take a really good look at everything before you either go racing or even just riding. So I was working on the rear wheel. I checked the air pressure and all that. Like I said, put a new chain on it, and I'm going around, and I noticed that. That's no good. So we got this spoke, obviously is not tight. So we're going to tighten that thing up and then go through all the rest of the spokes, make sure they're good. But that's just one of the little things you want to check when you're doing a service on your bike. Just look at the details. It's really, really important. If that thing had come loose and come out, probably would have gotten a flat. That'll ruin a race. But then also, it most likely, or not most likely, but it could have gotten all jacked up, wrapped up in the chain sprockets, caused all kinds of more problems that cost more money and maybe even a wreck. So yeah, it's those little things, guys, you want to check. Just all the details. It's really, really important. Oh, right on, guys. Awesome day at the shop. Really pretty good Friday. Tons of things got done. Tons of things got picked up. We got some race bikes ready for guys to go racing this weekend. Yeah, it's awesome. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be racing. I got to work tomorrow, and I'm just super duper busy. And then I just want to go ride with my kids on Sunday. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. If you like what we're doing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the notification bell, and so you know when we do new videos. Share this video with your friends if you think it's good. I love you guys. I hope you get out, spread the gospel of two wheels, and I hope what we're doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you to get out and ride your dirt bikes.